you should be happy as fuck.
What's up, my hippies? It's me, Emily, and today I'm going to be telling you about how my dog got her leg bit off. I know you guys are thinking,
what the actual fuck? Your dog got her leg bit off?
yes, my dog got her leg bit off. Now, this story takes place a long time ago. This dog that I'm going to be talking about has since passed away, R.I.P. I miss her every single day of my life. She was one of my favorite animals that I've ever owned. She had such a sweet heart and such a sweet soul about her. She's just such a sweet dog. She's one of those dogs that you literally would have to know in order to understand what I'm talking about. So I don't remember how old I was exactly when we got her, but I'm gonna kind of tell you a backstory just because I want to commemorate her a little bit. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I wanted a Chihuahua so badly. I'm pretty sure that around that time, Paris Hilton was a huge icon. She was everywhere. She was in everything. So she had a Chihuahua named Tinkerbell, if you guys remember that. And I think me being a young girl, I wanted to be like Paris Hilton. I wanted to have a little Chihuahua. I thought they were so cute. They were just the cutest dogs I had ever seen in my entire life. And I told my mom, I said, I want a Chihuahua and I want to name her Jasmine. I even asked for a Chihuahua that year for Christmas. I think I might have been about 8 years old, but it was in the summer and my mom was like, let's just go to the pet shop and we're going to look at dogs and just see if we like any. We went and we're walking around, we're looking at all the dogs. I'm specifically looking for a Chihuahua because that's what I want. My mom's looking at all the big fluffy dogs. So I finally look into the kennel and I see this little tiny thing curled up inside of a food dish. And to my surprise, it was a little white and tan Chihuahua. Now, I had never seen a white and tan Chihuahua before. I had only seen the dark tan ones. I was like,
Mom, please hold her. I just want to hold her. I don't care if we buy her.
you know, I'm just trying to sucker my mom into buying me this dog without actually letting her know that I am, but she knows that I am anyways. So my mom agrees. She's like, okay, she's pretty cute. Let's get her out of there. The lady had to wake her up to hand her to us. But we went in this little tiny cubby hole. If you guys have ever been to a pet shop, they have these little cubby hole sections that you can go and they put the dog there and you get to like pet the dog and play with the dog. So we woke her up from her little nap that she was having, but the minute we set her down, I swear to God, this dog was so active and so loving, and she was just, oh my God, she was so cute. She was wagging her little tail and she had to have been about like this big. I had never seen something as cute as that dog was. My mom even fell in love. I think my mom fell in love harder than I did at that time because my mom was not expecting to walk out of there with a dog, and I was like,
I'm getting a dog, I don't care what she says.
but she was like,
we're not getting a dog.
and my mom and I walked out of the pet store that day with little Jasmine. We loved Jasmine so much. She was the light of our lives. She brought so much joy into our lives, and we were so happy to have her as part of the family. She immediately fit right in. I want to say it was about 4 months later. She was still really tiny, still like a little baby, and my mom and I were inside eating dinner. We had her outside, which honestly was really rare. We normally kept her inside the house with us because she was so tiny. We didn't want anything happening to her, but for some reason this night she was outside with the other dog. We were eating dinner and it was finally time for us to go to bed. You know, we were getting ready to go upstairs, brush our teeth, and we had to bring the dogs inside. They always slept with us. So I went to go open the door to let them in, and I saw that she was limping as I was opening the door. It looked like she had her paw up like this, and she was only like balancing on 3 legs, and I was like, why is she limping? So I went to go reach for her paw, her other paw that I thought was just curled up underneath her, and it was just straight bone sticking out of her skin, and I immediately freaked out. I was like in a state of shock. I can't imagine how she was. I don't even know how she was walking. Like, I have no idea how my little dog was able to get up to the door with bones sticking out of her chest. So I immediately went into shock. I had never seen anything like that before. I was freaking out. My mom was like, it's probably just curled up underneath her. And to my mom's surprise, she was missing her leg. I thought in my head that my dog was going to die. I was like, my dog is not gonna make it. There's no way possible that she's going to survive this. I was fully prepared for my dog to lose her life that day. My mom had wrapped her in a towel. She said, we need to get her to the hospital right now. And she wrapped her in a towel, she put her on my lap, and I literally was so afraid to touch her. Like, I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want her to like die in my arms. I was so afraid to touch her, so I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out the entire way. So we get to like an animal hospital, like in a 24-hour emergency care center for animals, and we get her checked in. My mom goes back there with them. I'm sitting in the waiting room because I'm like, I am not prepared for this emotionally or mentally. I can't deal with this. My mom was back there for a while with them, and then she finally comes out there. She calls my aunt. I don't know why. I think just because she wanted someone to keep me company while she talked with the doctors and the vets and everything. So she called my aunt. My aunt came and was like keeping me company and calming me down. It was so hard. It was so hard to like know that your animal was not in a good state, and you don't even know if they're gonna make it out or what's gonna happen to them. So it was definitely really scary. I remember like crying. My mom was crying, my aunt was crying. We all were like really sad because that dog is literally the sweetest dog ever, and we just knew that she did not deserve what happened to her. So we eventually find out that she is not gonna die. She's gonna be okay, but they needed to keep her on fluids. They were gonna stitch up the area and see if, see how she reacted to the stitches and see just how her body would react to healing. They said that there was no way they were going to be able to put like a prosthetic leg on her or anything, so that she would be a permanent three-legged dog from here on out. So we had to leave the hospital. I was very upset, very sad. The next day I went to school. I told all my friends about it. They were in complete disbelief that my dog got her leg bit off, which is what happened. The only thing that we could maybe think of what happened is that she was up on the fence and she was barking at the dogs behind us. We had a neighbor that had really big dogs. I think they were like Rottweilers or something, but she was probably up there barking at them and they were probably barking back, and we had like little knot holes in our fence. What I'm assuming happened is that she went to go put her paws up there and she put her paw through the fence and the other dogs ripped it off. So my mom tried to get the police involved, and we tried to see if there would be any way that we could get money from the neighbors to help pay for the medical bills for her, since their dogs were the ones that bit my dog's leg off. And basically the police said that since my dog was on their property, there was nothing that they could do. Now, my dog was physically on my property. My dog was not on their property. My dog's arm was stuck in a fence that was on their property, but I feel like they had some kind of responsibility in the matter to help us pay for that. Like, if it was my dog that bit someone else's dog's leg off, I would at least offer to help them pay for some of the expenses. So they didn't even offer to pay, they didn't offer to help us. They literally showed no remorse about it whatsoever, which was extremely frustrating. So we eventually got my dog back a few days later. She was in recovery, she had stitches on her, she had to wear a cone, and I think she was just adapting to life without having a fourth leg. And to our surprise, she was still happy, she was still energetic. It took her some time to learn balance and coordination, but it never ruined her spirit. It never ruined how fun and how happy she was. She still maintained that really fun-loving spirit about her. I just think that she kind of adapted in this way that we weren't expecting. It was a really cool adaptation to watch her take something horrific and horrendous and still be this really happy, energetic, loving dog was just amazing to watch. And yeah, that was the story about how my dog got her leg bit off. She did pass away a few years ago, so she is no longer with us, but she is a dog that I will remember for the rest of my life. And I know that anyone in my life at that time that knew her will also remember her. She's just such a sweet, sweet, sweet dog. I miss her every single day. And it's also a lesson for anyone else out there. If you go through something hard in your life, if you're faced with a challenge, it's just a lesson to not give up and to take that challenge and make the best out of it, just like my dog Jasmine did. And I kind of try to live my life by that. I try to take every single challenge head on, and I try not to get discouraged when life throws curveballs my way, because at the end of the day, I am still me, and I still have the same feelings and emotions and mentality that I'm gonna have, and it's all about how I handle the situation that I'm faced with. So she taught me a lot in my life, and I'm very, very lucky to have had the pleasure of knowing her. Alrighty guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it before I start getting emotional, because it does make me kind of emotional to talk about her. So if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Friday, sometimes Saturdays. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!